So this is a house in Memorial Northwest, which is in Spring area. We chose this house really for a couple reasons. Well, one, the numbers work. Mark says if the numbers work, it works, right? And so I knew the area real well. We lived really close to it, and I thought, let's do something nearby because I want to know how it works from start to finish because I've never really seen any kind of a flip deal and how it works. I've never done contracting or anything like that, so the world was totally new for me. But with his passion, and he said, I'm so excited to get back going into it, and so that's when we created our business entity together. I mean, I've owned homes, I have a vacation house, I have a rental property, but that's about as far as I had gone up until this point. So this was a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, about 2,800 square feet, pretty big lot, 1/4-acre lot, had a nice pool in the back. The history on this house, from what we learned, was Wimbledon Estates did flood in some areas, and this particular house was pretty high, but I was told it did get a couple of inches in it. And an investor bought a bunch of properties supposedly in this area. Around 70 or so, I think, is what I heard around the area. Again, some of this is hearsay. You just hear stories as you're getting into some of these things. And so what they told us was he bought all these properties during that time, gutted a lot of them, and then didn't have the manpower to put them back together because everybody was rebuilding. And also, even drywall was costing a lot more at the time. So apparently he foreclosed on quite a few of these homes. So we bought this as a foreclosure. We originally put a bid in on it. It didn't take, and a couple weeks later they came back and said, final invest. So we offered a little bit more, and we got it. So that's the house. Clicker. Oh, you have that.
I got it.
Okay, go. Okay, demo. Anybody like demo? Okay, yeah.
It's just stress relief.
It is. It
need
is
it.
Totally and completely stress relief. I wanted to see it from the inside out and how to do it. So give me a sledgehammer, and I just went to town, and that was a ball. I really, really enjoyed that part of it. Okay, so this was the kitchen before. It was sort of gutted. We said, let's take down, all that stuff and open up the whole kitchen and make it look new. Take down the fur downs, and there's the remodel afterwards. So we stuck with the basics, and so that was hard for me because we went with gray, agreeable gray. Anybody ever use agreeable gray? Okay.
If you're not sure what to use, go to Sherwin-Williams and say, what's your best-selling colour? And they will tell you. Then go to the flooring company and say, what colour goes with that? And they will tell you. It's really easy.
So gray floors, agreeable gray, white subway tiles, white shaker cabinets. Everybody loved it, okay? Big, nice island. So that's the kitchen. I think the kitchen is a really important spot, to put your money in. The entryway is another, I think, important part because the first impressions are big. Of course, you want your landscaping to be nice and neat. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. But then as you walk in, you want to make some changes. We thought about doing a few more things, and we were just limited on funds, so we thought, change out the railings, make it pretty neat, nice, paint the door. Bathroom's another place that, old, dated, just freshen it up. So nice granite, new sinks, carpets, new tile. In this case, we just painted it. Same thing with the dining room. I'm going to stop here a second. You see these floors? This was the death of me for demo. Hardwood floors that had been there 20 or 30 years. Oh my goodness, that was a booger bear.
When they say glued down, these were glued down and glued down again.
Oh, they were bad, but we got them up. Had I known then what I know now, and I knew what happened to those floors, I'd have probably done something on top of it.
We'd do what Steve done, is just at closing now, go Mr. Contractor, take my keys and do it.
That.
That's the next one.
Okay, so again, just freshen it up, make it pretty, add a pretty light. There you go. All right, this next one is the bar. I have to say the bar. And cheers to Rob. Thank you for the refreshments. So we were debating on this bar, and the bar became our project, which is why I put the bar in here. Because the bar for me was, do we just tear it down, or do we make something cool out of it and spend a little bit of money just to have a little niche area? And so I said, let's do something fun with it, place for your wine, your fridge, and your glasses. And that would be something I would put in my house. Now, again, everything, I'm like, I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I want to do the barn doors, and I want to do this huge pantry. And he's like, nope, 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 nope. You can do the bar. I said, okay. So I got my bar. Pool. So I'm putting the pool in here because has anybody flipped with pools?
It's a crapshoot.
It is. When you see a pool and it is black and you can't see inside of it, you can't see that far in, it's a little scary. And we knew it could be a little or it could be a lot, but really when they've been sitting there for a couple years and they're black, the plaster is probably bad and you have to do some remodel there. Well, luckily the person here who owned every real estate company on demand happened to do a pool company and lawn make company and real estate company and stores and all of that.
I've done a lot.
He's done, yeah. So he's definitely an entrepreneur. If he finds something, he'll make it a company. So before we go on to this, so we spent quite a bit of money on this pool. People don't want to have to mess with a pool. That's a pretty big job. So we did spend money on it, replastered, we repainted, acid wash and all that stuff. Just to make it look pretty nice and neat. I think that's really important. Nobody really wants to look at a pool and think about what they have to do to it. We changed out the filter system and the motors and stuff like that. So it took a little bit more money, and I wanted to paint the house because I didn't really love the front of the house, but that took up a little bit too much money. We painted the front door, made a pretty entryway, but sometimes I guess I say that because you really have to kind of weigh what's going to be the best bang for the buck and what people are going to look at and not look at. Next. So this was the flip complete, and I put this in here because we look a little tired. So after all that was done and it was complete, we just hugged, and our realtor was there. She just snapshotted a cute picture. Of course, it's a team effort, so you got to have good realtors. You've got to have good contractors. You've got to have people that you're helping and they're helping, and it's completely and totally a team effort because I definitely couldn't have done it without them. And yeah, go ahead. One of the things we're going to talk about the financials here, but one of the things that I was happy to be able to do, especially during this time, was to be able to help people along the way, help people keep their jobs during COVID, because we didn't slow down at all during COVID. So, okay, let's talk about financials. You want to talk about that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The purchase price on the property was 160. Well, it was 160 they listed for. They done highest and best, and we done 165. Like she said, for me it's a numbers game. If the numbers work, they work, and we could go to 165 and get it funded with hard money. I thought. I've done many deals with a company in Houston. Never had a problem with my construction costs, never. The rehab costs, if I've said what they are, they were golden. Not so much anymore. That 5 years in between me doing it, stopping, like when I done it, 5 years later, going back to them, not so much. This one, my rehab cost was $25,000. As a GC, I knew it was $25,000. They turned around and said $45,000. So what they wanted us to do was take an extra $20,000 to closing. Not good when you're not budgeting for it. Lucky enough, we had the money in the bank for it. So when you see the rehab cost at $45,000, they weren't. It cost us $25,000. We had to get our $20,000 back, so we claimed the $45,000 when we done the rehab. So $165,000 we purchased it for. $45,000 was the rehab cost. The holding costs were $88,000, and that's $8,800. Sorry. No, we didn't. That'd have been a bad deal. That'd have been a bad. And that included like the interest payments, taxes, lawn care, all the incidental utilities, stuff like that. In between, you're buying and you're selling.
And we did this in 4 months, from start to finish. Yeah,
start to finish on that one. Now the closing costs when we purchased it, we've got it as $12,000, but really we took $32,000 because they wanted that extra $20,000. The closing costs when we sold it, with real estate fees, their commissions, title insurance, everything else, $22,000. So our total cost on it was $252,800. We sold it, and we put it on a Friday, and a week later it was under contract. We had multiple offers, I think five?
Five.
5 offers on
I
it.
think we stopped about 5.
Yeah, about 5 offers. 2 of them were at asking price and 1 was over.
And 2
So-
were, 2 were just shy of.
Yeah, the one that was over was a strong offer as well. So we went with that one. And net profit on that was $30,200. It's not the biggest one I've ever done on a rehab, but in the middle of COVID, when you have no idea what's going on, it was very welcome.